everybody, and welcome to the podcast, Coffee with the Kensington, where each month we discuss all things related to seniors, their caregivers, and families. My name is Brenda Moynihan, and I'm the Director of Marketing and Outreach at the Kensington Assisted Living Residence. Today, my guest is Nancy Nealon. Nancy is a licensed master social worker and community program manager with the Parkinson's Foundation, New York and New Jersey chapter. Nancy has worked in the health and disabilities arena for over 30 years. For the last 5 years, her work is centered on a variety of roles and capacities for the Parkinson's community, including program planner, support group leader, fundraiser, educator, and more. She's also enjoyed part-time roles as an adjunct social work professor for several MSW programs in Rochester and Buffalo, and as a program surveyor for the Council on the Accreditation of Rehabilitation Facilities. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you so much, Brenda. It's wonderful to be here. Thanks so much for the invitation.
Sure. Before we get into it, because I understand that there's a new program at the Parkinson's Foundation. Please just tell our listeners, give them an overview of what Parkinson's is and how the disease presents itself.
Parkinson's is so fascinating in that no two people are the same who experience it. There are many different motor symptoms. There are many different non-motor symptoms. And that's what makes all of this very challenging. But the bottom line is that for whatever reason, and we don't know yet why, an important chemical in our brain is reduced for people with Parkinson's, and that's dopamine. Okay. And when the dopamine production gets stopped or lessens, that's what causes all these various symptoms. So there's tons of information on Parkinson.org that people can read about. We have massive number of publications that people can access for free. So I won't go into the various details, but what we know is that over 1 million people in the US have Parkinson's. It is a disease where the risk is greater as we age. Only about 15% of people with Parkinson's are diagnosed under the age of 50. Okay. More likely it's 60s, 70s, 80s. So, and men and women, both get Parkinson's. Any race across the world, it is a growing disease and area of concern.
Okay. So let's talk about it. The new program that you have called PD Health at Home. Tell me what it is. What's it about?
PD Health at Home really is all about keeping people connected. It really occurred, it was developed as a result of the pandemic. We could no longer do our jobs the way we had normally been doing them, which is going out into our communities and bringing all this education directly to people, bringing in the experts. So we had to find a way to continue to do our jobs and to hopefully reduce isolation. So I'm proud to say that PD Health at Home continues to be a really active, always evolving platform where we can connect people virtually through Zoom. And we have programs Mondays called Mindfulness Mondays, which are fabulous programs, so helpful for people managing their symptoms. Wellness Wednesdays, and there's a huge variety of programs we do on Wednesdays. And then Fridays, Fitness Fridays, because if there's one thing we know, and that's been proven scientifically, is that exercise is the one thing that can help people manage their symptoms and hopefully slow the progression. All these programs. And
this program is virtual. I'm sorry, this program is virtual.
Virtual. However, important to note, some people are intimidated by that. You can actually just call in. There's a phone number. So you don't even have to look at a screen. You can call and listen. The other thing is we record everything. It's all uploaded to our YouTube channel. People can go back and rewatch anything. There's just a huge number. I can't even hazard a guess how many videos we have up there now.
That's great.
PD Health at Home, Parkinson.org/PD Health. Take the person right to it. And I'll say more about it in the article.
Okay. And folks, just so you know, Nancy will be writing an article for the Kensington. It'll be on our website that'll have more information. That's what she's referring to. Tell me the additional programs that you folks have that folks can access online.
One of our longstanding programs is called Expert Briefings, and this is a national program that occurs about 8 times a year, and we have a published schedule annually, and we get all the ideas for what should be covered in Expert Briefings by asking our community, what do they want to know? Most recently, we had a session about who knew that Parkinson's can affect your skin. That these, for people, they can have issues related to dermatology, and we need to cover that and make people aware, or vision issues, or, and of course, they're always popular, medications, what's happening, what's new. So Expert Briefings, once again, you can go to our website, and I will make reference to it in the article. But it's a great way to tap into the expertise of, really renowned experts out there who come to us and share all their knowledge and brilliance about what they know.
It's interesting that you just mentioned skin, because could that be, with going to the physician, if somebody has symptoms and they don't know, it's not been diagnosed yet, perhaps, as you're saying, some of the skin symptoms, dermatological, could be a clue that could help the physician with the diagnosis. Because I've not heard that's part of the disease. That's interesting.
But just very quickly, so folks are aware, what the Parkinson's Foundation recommends is that anyone who has Parkinson's hopefully will be treated and followed by what is called a movement disorder specialist. And that is a neurologist who has further training and expertise in movement disorders. General neurologists, there are many, many, many wonderful general neurologists who treat any number of neurological diseases and concerns. And for some people, that's their best option because they don't live close to a movement disorder specialist. We're lucky in that New York State, we have not only many movement disorder specialists, but we have Parkinson's Foundation Centers of Excellence scattered throughout the state as well. And I guess if you step back, I'm not sure, because I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not a medical person. Hopefully, we have great skilled primary care physicians, because generally that's where somebody goes first. If they're experiencing something's changed, they usually have to take those kinds of steps. But there's no one test to make a diagnosis for Parkinson's. It's truly a matter of a clinical diagnosis, collecting a lot of information, observing. One strange thing for Parkinson's, for people with Parkinson's, some lose their sense of smell and therefore the sense of taste. For others, they don't even realize that as they walk, one of their arms no longer moves. Once again, doesn't happen for everybody, but those are just the things that can make this a very, very highly challenging situation. Right.
Thank you for mentioning that, that the physician, it's best to go to someone who is a movement disorder specialist, because I hadn't heard that. So thank you. And my listeners, it's important for them to hear that. That was good. So we've been talking about things for the person with Parkinson's. What about their caregivers? Do you folks have anything specifically for caregivers of those with Parkinson's?
We certainly do. And, one person is diagnosed with Parkinson's, but it's truly a diagnosis that's carried by the entire family, the entire support system. And we honor caregivers any chance we get. But specifically for caregiver, we have a whole online course now. It's really quite in depth. People can take advantage of gaining a lot of knowledge through our online caregiver course. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Wellness Wednesday, for example, we oftentimes include specific caregiver focused or care partner focused programs. We recently had one just a couple weeks ago that was focused on caregiver burnout. And it was so powerful. Over 500 people registered for this program. People need to know they're not alone in what they're dealing with, what they're
Mhm.
coping with. They need to know what the resources are and how to get the support. Because Parkinson's is generally a very slowly progressive disease.
Mhm.
So it can be a long haul, and caregivers, there's various supports, but we don't have everything we need to, there's no
Right.
one anecdote that can fix everything for someone.
Right.
So Parkinson's Foundation really sees itself as being an important part of how to live better with Parkinson's, supporting the
Mhm.
person with the disease, but also the care partner.
Right.
And once again, I don't think I've mentioned our helpline. Let me just do a quick pitch for that.
Sure.
Anything that I've talked about, and I will put this in the article, but call our helpline 1-800-4PD-INFO, and that translates to 1-800-473-4636. And our helpline specialists, who are fabulous, will help get people connected to a center of excellence, to a movement disorder specialist, to
Perfect.
any of our caregiver resources. Really, if they don't know an answer, they'll do everything they can to find it and get back to someone. People
Great.
can also email the helpline to helpline@parkinson.org.
Great. So let's talk about programs that the Parkinson's Foundation has developed specifically for folks living alone. We're talking about the family and care partners and things like that. What about that person who lives alone?
Well, Brenda, this was something that really became top of mind as we progressed through the pandemic. And, not only were people, couples, an adult child with a parent with Parkinson's, but it really, because of the isolation issues, it really magnified, wow, what about someone who has no care partner? What about someone who chooses to live alone? That's their choice, because many people, and we took a look at the literature, many Americans, older adults, are choosing to live alone, some by circumstance, maybe death, divorce, but others, that's their best lifestyle. So what do you do if you don't have a care partner who can run to the store to pick up your prescription, or run down the stairs to do the laundry? So with that being said, and truly we are just getting started on this journey, but we are really pleased to launch a new program called PD Solo. And we will have various webinars throughout 2022. We will have some podcasts. We are going to be working on, we have a variety of fact sheets. There's more fact sheets we have than I can't even shake a stick at. But we will have some printed and published material as well. Once again, trying to bolster the network for our entire community. And, we need to be thinking about how does it play out for advanced care planning? How does it play out? What do you do in an emergency? So there's lots of different ways that we have more topics than we could possibly cover. But this is getting started. This is an effort to get started to be able to address the concerns across the board.
So, it sounds like you folks have some great programs that you've started or are starting. PD Health at Home, PD Solo. Can you provide for the listeners contact information, how they can learn more about Parkinson's and get more information about everything that we're talking about? If you could repeat the phone number, the URL,
Absolutely.
the website again.
Yes. So our the Parkinson's Foundation helpline, which operates 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time, Monday through Friday. You can reach our helpline specialist at 1-800-4PD, and then INFO, which translates to 473-4636. 1-800-473-4636. You can also email the helpline, and that email address is simply helpline@Parkinson. Remember, no S on any of our links, parkinson.org. And then truly our website is is just this compendium of so much information for anyone who has questions about expert care, because that's one of our pillars as well.
Mm-hmm.
We've been talking about education, which is another pillar for us in terms of our mission. But you could get lost in our website. And when I get calls sometimes for people who are newly diagnosed, and we have a lot of resources for people newly diagnosed as well, I sometimes, depending on, gauging where they are, I will caution folks and say, take it a step at a time. You don't have to learn everything at once. In fact, it would be pretty darn overwhelming.
Right.
And for some, just kind of hearing that is like, phew, okay. As long as they know who to contact, where to go for the correct and accurate information, how to get connected if they're ready for that. Those are the kinds of things, once again, in trying to serve people with Parkinson's that we're all about.
Okay, great. Thank you. And folks, for my listeners, Nancy has written an article. It is on our website. If you'd like to hear more information about this podcast and the things Nancy's talking about, please feel free to go to the Kensington's website at www.thekensingtonwhiteplains.com. And for those of you who'd like some information about the Kensington, please feel free to call us at 914-390-0080. Or again, please feel free to go to our website at www.thekensingtonwhiteplains.com. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for all this great information. Have a great day, folks. Thank you.
Thank you.